Hello, good evening, everyone. So, in this section, we will talk about how we can run our Selenium script using Selenium Grid with Docker. So, as you know, we have earlier talked about how we can run Selenium script in two different containers, like Firefox, Chrome, Edge. So, in this video, we will be using Selenium Grid with Docker. So, before starting with Selenium Grid with Docker, I would like to cover the topic of Selenium Grid. Basically, what exactly is Selenium Grid? So, this is one video, one diagram which you can see. Here we are having one hub, which is a machine, uh, which is connected to or associated with different node machines. So, if you can see, this is one node, which is and this is second node, it's in third node. So every node, one node, suppose first node is a Mac machine, and second node is a Linux machine, third node is a Windows machine. So also every node contains multiple browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, or Internet Explorer. So each hub is connected to multiple node machines, and each much hub and node are independently, these are different virtual machines or different physical machines basically. So when we run our script, our hub will choose different configured nodes, and it will start executing on different node machines. So one disadvantage of this particular architecture or Selenium Grid is like we need different multiple physical machines, basically VMs. So, and also it is like quite costly when we run this script in different VMs, because each machine will have its own configurations. Maybe it requires Selenium Jar or Java or different browsers. So to avoid this disadvantage, we have the concept of Selenium Grid with Docker. So if you can see, first diagram which I was here on the left side is Selenium Grid, where each and every hub and node are different physical machines. And coming onto the right side, which is a Selenium Grid with a Docker. So what difference between this first diagram and second diagram is, like in this, if you can see, same configuration is there, like hub is connected to different nodes, but each node is kind of a container in itself. So these are not the physical machines. Every node is a container, and even the hub also, which you can see, is also a container. Okay, so the main difference between these two diagrams is, on the left side, Selenium Grid is one machine and nodes are different set of machine. Whereas Selenium Grid with Docker, which is on the right side, it is like a hub as well as node. Both the entities, they will run from a single container basically. So one single container will run and establish the connection between hub and node. Okay, so if you can see these images and containers, they are created and they are available. And once every container will be getting its own images, and these images are basically designed by Selenium, and they will be putting these images, and we need to pull these images and all these containers which we require. And once we create our automation code, we can trigger our code in these images and containers. So I'll go to the so these are the major concepts which we are going to cover, like how we will create the Docker file, how we'll run the Docker file, which I'll come to later, and how we will check whether the hub and nodes are connected, and other concepts. So before going there, I will go to the Selenium URL, which is a GitHub URL basically. So this is like GitHub Selenium HQ Docker Selenium GitHub page, where they have told like how we can pull the images and containers and create the Selenium Grid. So if you can see, Docker images for Selenium Grid server. So here they are basically diverting, giving the Selenium Docker hub registry page. So here we can pull different images and pull them, and we can use them as a container. So basically these are some of the commands which they have given and how we can run these commands. So these are the different ways. For standalone they have given these Firefox, Chrome and Edge, and if we are running in a grid we will have to use we will run these images by creating a grid with hub and nodes. So before going further I will show you, one second. Yeah. So if you can see, these are different major images which we have to use to run our test using Docker. First is, you can see, Selenium Hub. Second is Selenium Firefox Node, Selenium Chrome, then Firefox Debug and Chrome Debug. So if you can see the explanation, like this will pull the Selenium Hub image. Second one will pull Selenium Node Firefox, Selenium Node Chrome, and Selenium Node Debug, Firefox Debug and Chrome Debug. So once we download all these images, like suppose if we pull this image from here, we can, so if you see, this will give us Selenium Hub image. So yeah, if you can go here, this is the command pull docker pull Selenium Hub. So we have to open our command prompt, and if you type this, it will pull our Selenium Hub image. I will show you. See, it has started downloading the Selenium Hub image. So let it complete. So same way we have to use these commands to download these images into the container, and after that we will be, once we check with Docker images, we will be getting these kind of diagram, like Selenium Node Chrome Debug, Firefox Debug, Selenium Node Firefox and Node Chrome or Hub. These are the different images which we can download into our container and use them. So after downloading these images, we can run these images one by one. So this is just a same diagram, like Selenium Hub is image for running a Selenium Grid Hub, and Selenium Node base is base image for Selenium Node Grid Node, which this, ignore the second one. Third one, Selenium Node Chrome and Selenium Node Firefox. This, so Node Chrome is grid node with Chrome installed, and it needs to be connected with Grid Hub. And same thing for grid node with Firefox installed, needs to be connected with Grid Hub. And for debug, like it, Selenium node with Chrome installed and runs on VLC server and needs to be connected with Grid Hub, and same way for Firefox debug. So basically these are the commands which we'll be using for Selenium Grid with Docker. And so how we can start the Selenium Hub is by running this command Selenium docker, docker run -dp, and this is the port number where the Selenium Hub will run, 4444, and then the name of the Docker, the Selenium image and Selenium Hub. So once we enter this, Selenium Hub will open from the Docker container, and we can verify whether the hub has started by typing the local URL, what is a machine IP address, and then the port number, which is Selenium 4444. So once you open this, you can see the Selenium Hub has started. Same way how we can start a Selenium node is, once the hub is started, we can open the Selenium node also. So we need to start this node from the Docker container. So how we can start them is like, these are the different commands to run Selenium node, Chrome node and Firefox node from the Docker, like Docker and -d -link and Selenium Hub, hub node Chrome. Same way for Firefox, Docker run -d -link Selenium Hub, Selenium node Firefox. So basically, the link which they have given here is how we can run this. There are different So basically, we were talking about hub and nodes, how we can create a grid connection between hub and node. So if you can go to this URL, Selenium HP Docker Selenium, there they have talked about how we can execute different execution mode standalone and hub and node using grid. So first method they have given about Docker networking. So they have created this first command is for Docker hub using this something called networking they have used, and here this is first node Chrome, second node Edge, and Firefox. So second method they have used using different VMs. They are creating these hub and node connections. So this is they are creating command for hub machine. Second, they are creating one node machine for Chrome. So this is for that, and third is they are creating for Edge, and same way they are creating for Firefox. So this is second way, and third way, which is Docker Compose. So as you can see in my Eclipse, I have created one Docker Compose file, which is this file. So if you can see, this is my services, and within this I have different commands written. Basically, this is a Docker Compose file. So if you can go to this URL, they have created two different versions, the version 2 and version 3. So I will be using version 3. Basically, I will be talking about that only. So what this Docker Compose file is, basically it's a steps basically written for some of the configuration for hub and node containers basically. So what this file will do, this will create these containers, pull the images from Docker hub, and it will associate this hub with these nodes. So this one file itself will do all the hub configuration and Chrome and Edge different browser configuration in these containers, and it will associate the hub with these nodes. So that is the main advantage of this particular Docker compose file, and it will create the hub. It will pull the images from our hub and node like Chrome node and Edge node and Firefox node, and just on click on this file, it will download these images and create the containers out of it, and it will also establish the connection between the hub and the node. So this file is basically do these things internally to integrate hub in with these basically containers. So once we run this file, it will automatically create multiple nodes and associate these with the hub. So what I was talking about in the PPT, right? So we have independent command to create the start the hub Selenium hub. So and this is another command to run Chrome node and Firefox node from Docker. Docker and minus d link Selenium hub, Selenium node Chrome, and Selenium node Firefox. So once we have started the hub, we can independently use these commands to start the node from the Docker container. We can run this independently. So after running this Docker Chrome node and Firefox node, we need to run debug and Firefox also. We can run that also. So if I run this test case in both debug node, we can run this by using VNC viewer, basically virtual networking computer. So we need for VNC viewer, basically we need both the debug node of Firefox and Chrome. So this VNC will help us to verify the different browser actions at same time on one computer basically. So for viewing the test case and using Chrome, Firefox, and Firefox debug and Chrome debug, we need to use this command basically. So Docker and minus dp link Selenium hub, Selenium node Chrome, Firefox node Chrome debug, and Firefox debug. Alternately, we can also use these two commands. So once we run this both node and Firefox and Chrome, we can refresh and verify whether these nodes have started on the containers or not. Also, we can complete all this once we have done all these steps for the Docker container side. We need to run Selenium script and view and see viewer. So once we will add, we need to also identify the port for these nodes like Chrome and Firefox node. So for that, we need to we need the required ports basically for VNC viewer basically to identify the ports. We need to run this docker ps-a command, which will help us to run the ECE images through the ports like basically after we have downloaded these images, we can see all these images, and by running the port of these images under the port column, so we will get these ports also. So we need, once we know the port number of these Chrome and Firefox node, so we can start the browser using the VNC viewer. So we will be opening this VNC viewer and giving this hub URL, basically the local machine URL and the port number of each nodes. So if you can see, we have already noted down using this command Dr. -n what is the port number of this image and what is the port number of this particular Chrome and Firefox images. So we will give this port number here, Chrome and Firefox, and once again after that we can see, once you open the UI, we will see the both the nodes are opened in this fashion. So since both the nodes are open in VNC viewer, once we can write a Selenium script. So I'll, instead of doing all these steps, we will directly create this Docker compose file basically. So this is one single step. We are a single file. We are writing all the configuration here. So instead of doing one by one, we are doing everything in our compose file. Okay. So now I'll quickly go to the instead of, since I have shown you all this theoretical concept, I'll go to the practical one. Also, I'll want to show the difference between the commands. Like this is independently, if we are running the script, running the commands through command prompt. For Selenium Grid, we can, first command is for Selenium run -d -p, port number 44 is for hub. So Selenium Hub, and this is for Selenium Node, Chrome debug, and Firefox debug. So this is through link. We are creating a link between Hub and Node. If we are running our script independently, we will give this command of the Hub machine and then port number of the Chrome, standalone Chrome, and port number 5901 of the Firefox. So this is the major difference between these two commands. So just to make things simpler, we are using our VNC viewer, and we are running, creating this compose file. So if you can see, same thing we are doing here. We are creating this Selenium Hub configuration. This is Selenium Hub image, and this is Chrome image, and this is Edge image I'm using. And this is my port number for Selenium Hub, and I'm connecting through 5901 Chrome image and 5900 Fire Edge. So all these things we are doing configuration and associating this hub with node with this hub. So once this, our compose file is ready, I'll go to my command prompt. So how we can run this, I'll show you now. We have to navigate to this particular path where exactly this. So this is my path of this file. I'll open this. Open this path here. I'll quickly change my path to this drive. Okay. So now, to check how many containers are already present, I will run this command docker pm. Right now I don't have any container and docker images. So this is to check we don't have any container and images as of now. So how we will run this compose file is, so we have one command basically, docker compose up. So docker, this will run our compose file directly. So see, it has started pulling our hub and Chrome and Fire Edge images. So we'll open this up. So this file will do all the things at one time. We need not run these command independently, which I have shown you, like independently hub command and then Chrome debug and Firefox debug. So that is the advantage of this Docker compose file. So yeah, so you can see the port number once these images are executed. So it is pulling one by one. If you can see, download, Chrome pulling, Selenium pulling, and Edge pulling. It will take some time, like 2-3 minutes it will take. You see, Selenium is already done and just pulling for Edge and Chrome one by one. We'll open one more command prompt here. So once we pull the images using this compose file, docker compose up, we will be getting screen something like this. Edge is pulled, Selenium is pulled, and Chrome is pulled. So we can see the logs here. So you can see like connecting to this, and to show like adding Chrome browser, Selenium, adding node here. So node has been added. This node has been added. Added node this. Added node this. So this will give us an idea that there's images have been pulled, and the containers, and we have established the connection between hub and node. To verify this, we will open our browser and go to uh, local host. This is our hub. It shows two nodes have been connected or associated with hub, like one is Edge and one is Chrome. And if you go to our uh, what we say Eclipse, it will show that there are 10 instances of Chrome and 10 instances of Firefox have been established. So this URL like localhost 4444 give us uh, uh, the association between the hub and node. If this screen is not coming, that means there is no connection have been there between hub and node. So once we get this message like node has been added and it has been registered with hub, we can go to this URL, and this is the same URL of our local host is the IP address of my local machine, and 444 is my port number of the hub. So let my Eclipse open. I will show you the compose file here. If you can see in all these test classes, basically I have given mentioned my IP address of my local machine, which is localhost 4444 is my port number. So all the test classes I have given this, and this compose file establishes that we have pulled the image of Selenium, Chrome, and Firefox containers, and we have pulled this using this image name, and this is the port number for Chrome container, and port 5900 is for Edge container. So this you can see here. This is 5901 is for my Chrome container, and this is my Edge container. Okay, since now the connection is already established between two, we have already connected these two nodes container. We will run our script from this testng file, run as testng suite. So let it execute. This will give us the log. So it has started running in Docker for test classes. And if you open the viewer, we can verify. See, it has already started. See, it has started. I think this is the Chrome version. It is open the browser. This is my first URL to verify the title. I think it has already completed the first one. So one by one it will execute and it will show the title is Chrome, title is second URL HDFC Bank. So one by one it will verify all the titles. So all the four titles it has given Google. This is for Economic Times, this is for HDFC Bank, this is for Ashtak. All the four test cases have passed. See, all the four test cases have passed, and it has executed parallelly in these two. containers. So that's all I have to show you. So hope you find the concept of how what is the advantage of running this Selenium script in containers. So the conclusion, basically what we can find out from this exercise is that whenever we have large number of test cases, correct, we can use the Selenium script basically for speeding up the execution. So like we have to run our test cases under different operating system and under different browsers. So for that we use Selenium Grid. But this Selenium Grid will be costly, right? We have time consuming process, like we need different physical machines. So in such situations we will use Selenium Grid along with Docker containers. So Docker container is single container in single machine only. We are running hub and node, and we are associating and making connection and also running our script in same container. So we don't need multiple physical machines. So as you can see, our test case is executed in these two containers within single machine. This is one machine and we are having two different containers, and it has executed all our four test cases, and all the four test cases got executed in single machine using Selenium Hub with Selenium Grid with Docker. So you can see this connection, this UI will show you the container. So hope you like this uh, video, and
Hey
I hope
everyone, if you have a goal you're trying to accomplish,
I hope you find
check out Udemy. Udemy is an
you
online
can go to
learning
my
platform
YouTube
with
channel.
thousands of courses. Any topic you want to learn. Plus, the best part is that their courses are really affordable. You know, Udemy has thousands of courses.
So basically, this is my YouTube channel, Automation Techie. So here I've created some videos. So you can subscribe this, and you can take advantage of this video. Hope you like the video, and hope please subscribe my channel, which is Automation Techie. And I hope you will enjoy the session and you will learn something how we can configure Selenium Hub with Docker and run our Selenium script using Docker. Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe my channel. Thank you.